But speaking of hot start, if we're just going to go into our conference championship recap, Titans and Chiefs. Titans got off to a hard start in this game. Ooh, segue, baby. I'm the fucking best. Put some respect on the name.
Debatable.
Okay, fuck you. Titans Chiefs. The Titans faced off in the early game in Kansas City, and the Chiefs were able to come away with the win with the final score of 35-24. As I mentioned, the Titans got off to a hard start. Field goal on the opening drive. Then they forced a 3-and-out the following defensive series. And then Derrick Henry, they drove for 10 minutes. It was like around 9 or 10 minutes offensive drive all the way down the field. Yeah, Derrick Henry capping that off with a 4-yard touchdown run. Eventually, they were up 17-7. And then shit got real, just like it did last week for the Chiefs. They didn't put up 41 unanswered, but they still put up 28 unanswered points in this football game. You guys, what did you guys think of this one?
I couldn't believe how hot of a start that the Titans got off to.
Right?
It was really unexpected. I think they got to what was it, 17-0 before the Chiefs started answering back?
They got to 10-0, and then the Chiefs scored to make it 10-7, and then the Titans went up 17-7.
Yeah. So it was back and forth for a little bit, but I mean, the thing that stands out the most to me is just how instant the Chiefs can turn it on. I mean, they can put points on the board in a hurry. 28 points in a quarter is completely not out of the question for them.
Oh, hell no. They put up 21 points in 3 minutes and change last week against the Texans. This offense is built on so much speed and explosive plays. You can have a 35-point lead on them, and you're never safe against these guys. And I think that's the scariest part about their team.
Yeah, they can score at any moment.
It didn't bode well for a team like the Titans either. You know, a team that is predicated on controlling the game with running the ball and running out the clock.
Mm-hmm.
A team that can score at will and fast like the Chiefs. That's the kind of the poison to a team like the Titans that wants to control the ball and control the clock.
Exactly. What went wrong in this is besides that 9-minute drive that the Titans had to score their first touchdown, they didn't really have that drive. Looked phenomenal. That's exactly what you want when you're going against the Chiefs team, but that's the only time in the game they were able to do that. Derrick Henry was contained. He had 19 carries for only 69 yards and that one touchdown on that drive, but besides that, he was pretty quiet after the first quarter, which was really shocking considering that he has his best yardage, his best yards per carry, his best touchdown numbers come in the second half of the games. And to see the Chiefs be able to shut him down like this, way more than the Ravens did, I was impressed and surprised at the same time.
But also, I want to tip my cap to Derrick Henry because the fact that we're saying rushing for 69 yards is being contained.
Right?
It is saying something.
70 yards and one touchdown is a bad game for Derrick Henry.
Yeah, that's crazy that we have to say that. Like, oh, he had a bad game. But his bad game was a game that every running back kind of hopes for on a week in, week out basis.
Right?
But,
man, he was only averaging a little under 4 yards a carry. Fucking bum. Jeez. Unreal.
Yeah. Unreal.
Credit to the Chiefs defense in this one. They came up with a great game plan. Of course, Andy Reid, as always, having a great offensive game plan set in place. Titans the Chiefs made the halftime adjustments that they needed to, and I don't think that the Titans were able to keep up with those adjustments in the second half. I think that was a turning point in the game. Is after halftime, because the Chiefs received the second half kick, but the things no, they didn't score in that third, but they had the ball. They had a long ass drive to end the third quarter. Then early in the fourth quarter, 10 seconds into the fourth, they scored a touchdown. The Raptors then only like 7 minutes, not around 7 minutes later, they put in another touchdown to make it 35-17. and that was really the icing on the cake because that was a 60-yard touchdown pass from Patrick Mahomes to Sammy Watkins, and that essentially iced the game. You had
what type of cake are we talking?
Double chocolate.
Oh, icing on that. Yeah, that sounds good. That sounds good. Okay, continue.
You fat fuck. And then you had the Titans score late in this game with 4 minutes to go. Solid 22-yard touchdown dime from Ryan Tannehill to Anthony Firkser, the guy that scored that opening touchdown against the Patriots. First Harvard tight end to score a touchdown in the NFL playoff game, by the way. But besides that, they couldn't stop them. I know you guys caught that one Patrick Mahomes touchdown run, that 27-yard run where he broke like 4 tackles and made the Titans. He looked like he was putting on his best Lamar Jackson impression, I think, during that run. And this is crazy. I don't understand it. But well, at the same time, you had Patrick Mahomes looking good in that, and then you had the Titans forgetting how to tackle. And he scored this with 11 seconds to go in the half, and the Titans gave up this. Yeah, they were just about to go. Before this drive, the Titans were up 17-14, and then after this, the Chiefs scored with 11 seconds to go in the half, go up 21-17, and that was I think that's the turning point of the game because that took all the momentum in the air out of that Titans sideline, and everything was rolling with the Chiefs, and I think that's what ended up killing the Tennessee Titans in this game.
Yeah, no, they're kind of like the same way I said last week about Baltimore losing. Is they're both teams that kind of try to control the clock, and when you're both doing it, and one team takes the lead early, it's difficult. But the weakness for both teams were teams that were kind of big explosive. But
that's fucking annoying. Damn, that's probably not going to show up for you guys, but it's going to show up on the listener's side how the fucking ESPN video just popped up. Ah, fuck you, ESPN.
Oh, yeah, no, you're all good. Yeah, ESPN popping up videos trying to ruin us. They got spies watching us trying to stop our podcast.
We're coming for you, ESPN.
Up. They're scared. We got 55 followers on Twitter. We coming for you, dog. Like, we almost there.
Man. Be afraid.
Almost there. We coming for you.
Stephen A.
Be very afraid.
Maybe not.
I'm coming for your jobs.
You're a legend. I would like to work beside you.
Yeah, Stephen A. If you ever want to come on the show.
Oh.
Just let us know.
Blake, you got any thoughts about this game? Anything that we haven't covered or made a point about?
Not really. I mean, you guys have pretty much hit on everything.
I'm really good at doing that.
There was really nothing else that I really think I needed to add. The Chiefs they're too high powered, I think, right now for anyone else in the AFC. No one else was able to really put up a fight against them this year. Especially in the postseason. I think the Ravens were probably the only team that could have given them a run for their money, but they couldn't get past, obviously, their big tests.
The buzzsaw, Derrick Henry.
Yep. So
yeah, King Henry.
I think the Titans kind of ran out of juice,
Yeah. I would like to give credit to the Tennessee Titans because they started off like 1-3 or something like that. They took a gamble after their abysmal loss to the Denver Broncos when the Broncos shut out the Titans 16-0 in Denver. I want to add that the Broncos held Derrick Henry to under 50 yards rushing. The Ravens couldn't do that. The Chiefs couldn't do that. Almost every team couldn't do that. So, all I'm saying is that the Broncos are one of the best teams in the league. It protecting the run and put a little respect on them. I know you don't want to, Blake, but I think you should.
Beach, I'm playing.
Call for. But the Titans took. Fuck you. The Raiders suck, dick, and they live in Oakland.
Ouch.
Broncos are trash.
Someone sounds hurt.
Who hasn't been to Super Bowl in like 20 years or 30?
Ouch. Me either.
Who got tuck ruled?
Raiders. The Raiders have definitely been to a Super Bowl within the last 20 years.
Which one?
You sound uneducated. Are you okay?
No, I'm never okay. I'm Ross fucking
You
Allen.
alright?
What part of this sounds like I'm okay?
You remember 2002, the year 2002? Are you born yet?
I was born yet. Thank you very much.
We're a part of the elite 1999.
What about Tuck Rule? Your thoughts on that, Blake?
You want to bring up the past, huh?
Mm-hmm.
You want to bring up that Seattle ass whooping?
Oh, I don't want to bring up that Seattle ass whooping. That's what we don't want to do.
Yeah, that was fun to watch.
You know who beat Seattle this year? At home?
The Cardinals. Ooh.
Yeah, we did.
I think Jalen wins this
The
argument.
big boy
then.
plays.
But where I was
Yep.
going with this before we somehow got super fucking sidetracked like usual. That's why you guys like the show, because we just go off talking about something that has no relation to what we're talking about. Oh yeah, Broncos shot at the Titans. The Titans could say thank you to the Broncos, because after that game, that's when they replaced Marcus Mariota with Ryan Tannehill. And so I'm saying that the Broncos should be credited with the success of the Tennessee Titans. That's my TED Talk.
Broncos are
Thank
literally
you for
the
visiting my
worst
TED Talk.
team in the NFL.
Okay, not totally the worst, but they were.
The Bengals.
Fuck you, mean the Broncos and Raiders had the same record, 7-9.
Broncos are terrible, and
I thought we were making this really personal, guys. We have to stay professional and get back on
Fuck
track.
professional. Have you heard
We
this
have
show?
We have an agenda to follow.
Fine, we'll follow the agenda. I was going to wrap it up. The Titans and Mike Vrabel put on the show. No one expected this, and I really loved watching them. They had the backing of America. I really wanted them to go to the Super Bowl. But I guess the one positive thing for Titans, and specifically Mike Vrabel, about not making it to the Super Bowl is that his dick is safe. And I think that's a good thing. You guys
definitely.
might not understand the reference. Everyone's listening might understand that. I'm not just talking about another man's dick out of nowhere. Mike Vrabel said before the postseason that he would cut off his own dick if that meant winning another Super Bowl.
I don't think he cut off his dick then.
Nope. He did win the Super Bowl this year, so his dick is safe for at least 1 year.
Yep. Next year he might have to cut off his dick.
No.
No, I'm good.
Okay. Moving on then. Great game. It was interesting to watch. It looked like it was a 2-score game, but it looked like it was coming down to it. The Titans still kind of had a little bit of chance there at the end. But in the next game, this team did not have a chance at all. And that was the Packers, because they got fucked up big time by the San Francisco 49ers. Final score 37-20. But don't let a 17-point win kind of swayed you on it. It was way worse than 17-point spread. I'm gonna tell you that. The Niners got off to a 27-0 lead at halftime, and that was brutal. They were just rushing. They were just piling on. It wasn't like last week. How I talked about. It wasn't Jimmy G that helped them win the game. It was their standout rushing game. Raheem Mostert with a monster game, 29 carries, 220 yards, and 4 touchdowns. The Packers had absolutely no answer or response to the run game. But also, it wasn't just run backs. It wasn't just Tevin Coleman, who exited early with a shoulder injury. It wasn't Monster. It wasn't Matt Breida. Most of my credit to that run game goes to the offensive line, because they're opening up 2-yard, 3-yard holes in the line. They were moving bodies. They were getting to the second level, getting on linebackers, making space for the running backs. And you almost never see that kind of space open up in the NFL. And that 49ers offensive line was doing that. And I want to give, I might sound a little biased because, former line, of course I'm going to put them up. But we really have to respect the blocking game that this Niners offensive line put on for us. It was unreal. It was textbook. And this is the film from this game for what the Niners offensive line was able to do against those that defensive front seven. It should be reviewed and scouted and analyzed as what to do against a team like this.
Definitely.
There's my tangent again. I'm really good at doing these, huh?
I'm really good at tangents, bro. and Teddy.
I appreciate that. I'll be like, Steven, that's my
welcome.
opening monologue. You know, that all
Yep,
good
yep,
ESPN shows have.
Stay off the weed.
Duh.
That game was boring as shit.
Oh.
Where the fuck did that
Forgot he
come
was
from,
here.
Blake? Thank you. May you
Elaborate.
say more? Elaborate.
Go into greater detail. Okay, let's just say this: that game never interested me.
Really?
You know, I was never
It
captivated.
didn't live up to the hype.
There was only a few points in the game, and it was touched. I was like, oh shit. And other than that, I mean, really, it was pretty freaking boring. And all credit to the Niners for making it boring. They beat the shit out of the Packers.
Yeah, that's fair. There's no Bay
Would you
Area
say that
bias in
they
there.
Holly Holmes the Packers?
No, I mean, at least the Niners were actually like landing knockout punches, so to say.
Now, if this was like, if Holly Holmes was like this game, she would have knocked down Recall Pennington a few times at least.
Yeah, because they were scoring.
I think if you had to put a points football score into that fight, it would be like 9-0 San Francisco. Just a few field goals and call it good.
Yeah, because I mean, the people that are teams of fans that are the blowout enjoy those games. But
Yeah.
when you don't really have a dog in the fight and you're watching a game, you know, you're hoping for a good game over.
Exactly.
This game wasn't a good game. The Niners were dominating in every asset of this game.
Yeah, I really agree with you on that one.
So it just was kind of disappointing at that end because we didn't really get any games today. Really, it was two teams that just showed their dominance.
Yeah,
Showed
two teams.
Pretty
a
much.
step above.
If they're that dominant, I am looking forward to the Super Bowl. Stay tuned for our Super Bowl preview show.